Hello everybody, my name is Alan Lloyd. To return home to the fortune, there is a figure in the sun. But if the sun bursts to tears to heaven based upon the machine, it will orlate itself into the third performance. The performance of Dr. T. Sandra in relation to the Ah okay, Dr. Sandra Farquharson, in relation to being a scientist, the math position of the confunction will form itself into the border of the fifth moon to develop the third technology in the slow processor of the CPU 5321. That is just a quick shot for the CPU, Central Computer Processing Unit. In a matter of time, when you create the next computer system, you will analyze the analyst to the ANZ Bank for the fee of 325. Each ANZ Bank by the pig is the co-function of the Purina to listen out the door to heaven based upon the machine. The machine is bound to F315. In the central processing unit, it is the utilities to interlude the technology for the position. Each position for Bowens is map position of 5326 for the wood of the realignment of time. The retiming village based upon the element it will send the sun through. But if the sun bursts to tears to heaven, it will array itself into the third performance. The manuscript is 324. In relation to the blueprint, it will have the Instagram of technology for the position of the army. Each army for Sector 3, it is the decision to decide to do so in relation to the condor. The condor is 3CFC15. In relation to the third timer of Buddha, it is the conjunction of the Purana to re-listen out the door to heaven based upon the machine. The machine is bell to F315. The bell to F315 is the border of the fifth moon to burst to tears to heaven based upon the machine. The machine is bell to F315. The conjunction of the Purana will listen out the door to heaven based upon the machine. The machine is 2341. In relation to the confunction of the Purana, it will listen out the door to heaven based upon the timer. Each timer is the conjunction of the Purana to listen out the door to heaven based upon Sri Lanka. In that day it is the conjunction. The conjunction of Sri Lanka is the measurement of time for the border of the fifth moon for the states. Each state is a conjunction. The conjunction is the Purana. I'll be back in a minute. Anyway, in relation to the third subject of the confunction, it is the Pushkata. The Pushkata is the designer of day 10 for Dr. Lee. Dr. Lee Sandra is a conjunction of the Pushkan. The pronunciation for the word is an equation of 324, the equivalent to 324. Each evaluation of the cofunction will transform itself into the door to heaven based upon the machine. If the machine is bound to F315 by the border, the third moon will switch off to the mode of the anima. In that way, quantum leap. The quantum leap will transform itself into the third program. Each third program will enjoy itself into the door to heaven based upon the machine. If the machine is BEF215 by the border, the third moon will switch off to the mode of the anima. In that way, Dr. Lee Sandra, it is the co-finder. The confiner to execute itself into law to heaven based upon the machine is a conjunction of the Purana to listen out the door to heaven based upon the machine. The machine is BEF315. The BEF315 for the encryption for Bill Gates is a transfund program by the isolation of law and equivalent to 321, which is evaluation of the transcode system. Each transcode system will formulate into 2, 3, 4. The formula of Dr. Lee Sandra in relation to the condor by Professor Jenny Ponsford, the scientist will equation into 321, which is the CP5. The CP5 is the sun of the element which will send the sun through. So, The most interesting day of life is the enjoyment of life based upon the element, because this is my second life. I died at Monash Hospital. The conjunction of the Monash in relation to the co-finder will execute itself into the element. Each element will send the sun through. The sun will burst to tears to heaven based upon the machine. The machine is line 1F215. Dr. Sandra Ferguson, it is the measurement of time for the sun to burst to tears to heaven based upon the machine. The sales price for 21312131 by the bank and the fee of 3131, which is the independency of Google. In Google, the map is 324. Each Google map in relation to the 324 is a conjunction of the Purana to listen out to the door to heaven based upon the machine. The machine is Bell 2 F315. In that day, it is 10324. The next alignment of time is the sun that will burst to tears to my brother Kung in relation to land Cairo. In relation to land Cairo, the measurement of time is 1, 4, 8, 12, 12, 14, 13, 12, 12, 12, 12, Việt Nam 12, 12, Việt Nam 12, 12, Việt Nam 12, 12. So, in relation to the thinking pattern, you will destroy a particular level of the seed. Each seed will process the central processing unit to convey itself into the lifespan. The lifespan will mark itself into the alignment of time for the sun. The sun will burst to tears to heaven based upon the machine. The machine is the equation of 324. Each equation for Dr. Lee Sandra is the measurement of time for the sun. The sun will burst to tears to heaven based upon the machine. The machine is Bell 2 F215. In that way, the containment is 1. The seed time is 3C FC15. In that day, Dr. Lee Sandra, it is the measurement of time for the sun. The sun may burst to tears to heaven based upon the machine. The machine is BEF315. Third encryption, 313131. Third encryption, 313131. Third, fourth, ninth, sixth, eighth encryption, 3C, FC, 1C, 5C, 1C, 4C, 1C, 5C. Third and the fourth line wave, encryption, 3-1. In that day, it is the co-function of the Purana to listen out the door to heaven based upon the machine. The machine will send the sun through, and in that day, Dr. Calozino, it is this way to preview itself into the door. Each door is the co-finder to execute itself into heaven based upon the machine. The machine is B1F215. So Dr. Calozino, for Morris Blackburn, it is the law fee of 3C. Each 3C for Johnny Voyage is a measurement of time for the sun. The sun will burst to tears for Slater and Gordon to have the R-ray itself into the third performance. Each lawyer will have the co-function to find out the law to heaven based upon the machine. The machine is Bell 2 F315. In that way, it is the co-function. So, I'm really happy to be doing things slowly in relation to knowing how to do so, to process the unit of a timer, to help you guys to understand the measurement of time for the sun. Because in the sun, it will drop out. Yes, the sun will drop out to Dr. Sandra Ferguson, because the scientists will array itself into the third moon. The third moon will switch off to the mode of the Anana. In that way, it is the co-finder. Each co-finder is the execution law for my brother Thanh Cao, diversity of JB Hi-Fi, and the democracy of law. Each democracy of law is the implementation of a network to refire out to the wall to heaven. So, it's 10 minutes.